Hold on, let me get my life. Let me get my life together, y'all. Let me bring this closer. Cause I know I changed the time like twice. Let's see who's here. Let's see who's here. We're gonna wait a few minutes because, yeah. Good afternoon. Okay. Are you going to do a reading for Scorpios? I don't know what I'm doing yet because I didn't do, like, I kind of paused on doing my monthlies as I was getting my Patreons together. So I don't know if I'm going to do the monthly horoscopes right now. I can't say yes. I can't say no. Eventually, yes. But there's a lot of other things that I'm working on right now. So I'm doing that. And I can only kind of do one thing at a time. Like, that's one thing with me. Like, it's hard for me to do a lot of different things. Like, I know I do different things, but like to really focus on something, I got to do one at a time. So right now the focus has been my Virgo and Pisces Patreon. And then I'm working on some Aries stuff now. And now I'm also adding back in my oils. So there'll be a time, but just bear with me, okay? So waiting everybody to get on here. People will probably slowly trickle in. And yeah. So I'm going to do my intro since I haven't done it in a long time. Hello, beautiful people. Hold on. The tongue twister. Hold on. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to my channel, Tarot by Bronx. This is Tarot Talk. These are Tarot Things, and I'm your host, Boogie down Bronx, here to take care of everybody for the eclipses and the retrogrades. We got Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, and eclipse in Virgo and eclipse in Aries, all in March. March is crazy with so many different transits that we haven't had either in a long time or in like 100 years. So we're going to break all these down today. I'm going to talk to you guys about what's happening, where's happening in your birth charts. And yeah, this is not really a Q&A. This is just like me telling you guys what's going on. But of course, in the comments, you can ask me questions, or after this, if you have questions, you can let me know. But yeah, March is pretty intense. It's pretty hectic. It's pretty heavy. So first things first, before we get started, if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes. So just bear with me. Give me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel. I know I haven't been doing my monthlies, but I am aiming to do more live streams just in general. So stay tuned for those. But special announcements. All right, first and foremost, I want to give a quick little shout out to my Virgo and Pisces group. We've been preparing for this first eclipse season, this retrograde season from January when I first opened up that group. All right, so we've been hanging in there. We've been talking about what's going on with the nodes and all this stuff. So we've been getting into it. Now we're finally here. And we're also gearing up for some other really cool transits, which are Saturn in Aries and Neptune in Aries. So that's happening March and then going into May. Saturn in Aries. If you have your Saturn in Aries, you're going into your Saturn return, like me. So, yeah, we've been getting ready for this, and that's what we're talking about today. Two more things. One, the Aries tier on my Patreon is open now. So if you have Aries placements or you're more interested in Aries content moving forward, you can subscribe to that tier. Some of the stuff that I put on Virgo and Pisces Patreon will be on there too, but majority of it will be Aries. All right. So that's open, a place for Aries placements with Aries content. No, it's not an add-on charge. There's no way to on Patreon subscribe to two tiers at once, unfortunately. So you have to kind of pick and choose which one you want to do. So yeah, either or. And then the last thing before we talk about what's happening, my abundance oils are back in stock, and I will add my love oils, and I will also be working on a health oil. My abundance oils have been a major best seller for the last few years since I started doing them. If you're interested, go look at my Etsy shop. You can look at all the reviews. You can look at what they are, and basically it's just an essential oil you can use to your ritual practices. You can put on your body, you can use it in a bath to help you increase prosperity and abundance that I make by hand. Okay, so that's available to pre-order. All this is going to be in the description box after the live is done, so you can check that out. But that's pretty much it for the announcements. So again, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for supporting outside of YouTube on the Patreon, and there's more ways that you guys can get connected. All right. It seemed less expensive. Yeah, because the Aries tier, it's gonna be it's mostly just focusing on a couple Aries transits, and then I'm not sure what I'm doing with it after that. What other tier is it equivalent to? I guess the Virgo and Pisces. You can go to the Aries tier, and it has a whole description of everything that's included in it, though. So yeah, let's talk about these retrogrades and these eclipses. All right. So we are in Venus retrograde now. For some people, it'll start tomorrow, depending on your time zone, but we're in it. All right, we're starting it. Some of you may have already started to feel the Venus retrograde energy. If you have been either questioning certain relationships, if you're thinking about changing something with your look, you're thinking more about how you can give yourself more self-love, if you're having some arguments, some disagreements, all those are kind of in correspondence with Venus retrograde. And retrogrades are times of revision, and we're in retrograde season, but then we're also in eclipse season. So that's a double whammy. All right. Excuse me. Eclipses signify faded changes. So things that are really pivotal moments in our lives. And depending on what placements you have, or even the degrees, it can show how intense or less intense it may be for you. So the first thing that you want to, if you're taking notes, write down, or at least keep in mind, are the dates of March to look out for. All right. So these are the important dates. So we have March 1st, which is today, Venus retrograde. I didn't write the endings for these. You might have to look those up on your own. But this is when it starts. So, and Venus retrograde, by the way, is a little bit longer than Mercury retrograde. So we got Venus retrograde starting today. March 14th is Mercury retrograde. March 13th, the day before, or about the same day, is the eclipse in Virgo. This is our first eclipse in Virgo on this new eclipse cycle. Before, they've been in Aries and Libra. And then we have an eclipse in Aries on March 29th. And then we have Neptune moving into Aries, which is a really, really big, significant transit, because Neptune moves very, very, very slowly. It hasn't moved in 14 years. All right, so it's moving into Aries, and it hasn't been in Aries in over like 150 years. So a lot of newness, a lot of new energy, a lot of endings and beginnings, because all this is happening in Aries, and then it retrogrades back into Pisces, the Venus and Mercury retrograde. But then there's this new Aries energy with Saturn in Aries and Neptune in Aries. So there's so much like beginnings of things, and not just in our personal lives, it's in a collective. We're going to see a lot of different first times of stuff. This could be on social media. This could be in science. This can be in politics. There's just so many possibilities for firsts, because Aries represents firsts. It represents it's like the first sign of the zodiac is, it's the baby, it's the baby where things are born. So there's a lot of newborn energy happening, if that makes sense. Okay. So who is most affected by the upcoming transits, the Venus retrograde, the Mercury retrograde, the eclipses, the eclipse in Aries, Neptune, etc. And I've been saying this on my TikTok, I've been saying this on Twitter and my Patreons. The signs that are going to feel it the most are going to definitely be Aries, of course, first and foremost, then Pisces, and then Virgo. Okay. And that's because that's where all the transits are happening with these three signs. Now, you have to look at your birth chart to know like what degrees you have it in. Like, for example, the eclipse in Virgo. I forgot what degrees it's in already. But if you look at the degrees of the Virgo eclipse, full moon eclipse, if it's close to or on your same degrees in your chart, like if you have, say, Gemini at the same degree or close to the same degree, then you will feel that eclipse pretty strong. Okay, so that's with any eclipse or full moon or new moon. When you have it exactly on your planets, it likely is going to be more of a personal feeling for you. All right. But those zodiac signs are most affected. Now, when we're talking about more so more deeper into our charts, we're looking at the houses. And to find your houses, you have to know what your rising sign is. If you don't know what your rising sign is, you find it in your birth chart. You have to know your birth time. So if you don't have your birth time, you can't find your rising sign. It's not going to be accurate. And it's going to be hard for you to know exactly where you're affected by these things. And so you want to look at, these are the houses you have to pay attention to though for March. Well, March and moving forward, really, especially with the Aries house. So you want to look at the house that you have Aries in your birth chart. You want to look at the house you have Aries, Virgo, and Pisces. Okay. And if you don't know your rising sign, if you don't know your time of birth, you can still apply it to your sun sign. So let's say you have Aries, Virgo, or Pisces sun. You would still apply what I'm going to tell you guys to that sign. All right. Just follow me. It'll make sense soon. But yeah, look at the houses you have. So for me, I'm a Scorpio rising. I have Aries rules my 6th house. Virgo rules my 11th house. And Pisces rules my 5th house. So those are the house placements or the areas of life where I will be feeling the most changes, especially in my Aries 6th house. Okay. So over the course of the next few months and then moving forward, I'll feel those changes, especially in that house. But yeah, so Virgo, Aries, Pisces house. Look at that in your birth chart. Focus on that. Okay. And so we're going to go through the breakdown of those houses. Okay. So locate that first. All right. Before you even look at anything else in this video, as long as you know your rising sign, you can find it. Now, I know some people are going to be like, I don't have this house. I don't have this house. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I promise. You do. But it doesn't always show up in every birth chart calculator. So you have to look up whole signs chart. Then you will see every single zodiac house. So look that up. If you don't see a certain house, if you're like, I don't have Aries, I don't have Pisces, whatever, it's in there, but you have to look at the right house system, whole signs. Okay. Once you find that, you'll be able to see clearly. And if you don't know, something that a lot of astrologers will tell you to do if you don't have a birth time that you can find, you can use 12 p.m. because it's like a neutral time. That doesn't mean it's going to be right. Doesn't mean that's going to be accurate, but you could try it. But yeah, so find those houses, find your Aries house, find your Virgo house, find your Pisces house. Okay. And once you found it, you can also apply this to your sun signs, but rising sign is most accurate. Rising sign is most accurate for looking at transits. So anytime you're looking at a horoscope, you're looking at a tarot reading, watch for your rising sign first if you know it. Okay? Because those, especially astrology transits, that is what's going to be the most accurate for you. So let's get into what this means for everybody based on your houses. All right. I hate how you can see my phone and my glasses. But Aries. We're gonna start with Aries. So if you are Aries rising, mostly. You can, again, I'm gonna say sun and rising, but always go with your rising sign first. So if you're an Aries sun and rising, the eclipses are going to be happening in your first house and your sixth house. So the Aries eclipse is going to be in your first house. The Venus retrograde is going to be in your first house. The Mercury retrograde is going to be in your first house. It's going to retrograde back into your 12th house in Pisces. And then the Virgo eclipse will be in your sixth house. So first house, 12th house, sixth house for Aries and Aries risings. First house is about yourself, your identity, your physical body. Okay. 12th house is about your mental health, your mindset. It's about things that are hidden. It's about the subconscious mind. And then the sixth house is about your health, physical health. So it's mental health and physical health. So for a lot of you Aries placements, and especially Aries sun or rising, this whole retrograde period, March and some of April, is going to be about taking care of your physical and your mental health. A lot of you guys are extremely burnt out. You need to really rest. You need to restore. You need to relax. Okay, I've seen a lot of Aries energy around me, and that I know personally is very tired right now. Very tired, doing a lot of moving around, traveling, thinking, doing. And so you may be forced to feel like you need to just stop all that and sit down and chill. I recommend you relaxing. All right, there's a lot of revising and revision around your mental health and what mindsets are holding you back. And the eclipse happening in your sixth house, there's something you're releasing in regards to your health, or a health routine. Could be a job, even maybe something that is burning you out for Aries. So pay attention to your health, pay attention to your energy levels in March and April. Listen to your body, take the needed rest, take a break, take a vacation, relax, and recharge. Okay. Revise your health. Revise, think about your routines. Think about what you can cut out. Think about what you need to add in, but mostly cut out. There's more so cutting out than adding right now. So draw back, cut back. All right. That's Aries for March. Health and wellness. That's it. That's all you need to think about, really. All right. And if you missed this, rewind. Well, not rewind it. Go back and watch it when it's up. All right. It'll be on my Patreons first, and then it'll be here later within the next few days if you miss it. But you can't rewind because we're on a live stream. So Pisces suns and risings, but especially risings. These eclipses and retrogrades are happening in your first house as well. Your first house of self, your second house of finances, and your eighth house of shared resources and intimacy, also finances. So there's a lot of reevaluation for you, as well as who you are, who you want to be, what you want to look like, what you're doing with your life, with yourself. But there's more focus on your finances, your financial state. Okay, so there's revising of finances. So there could be some things of your past that come back that you need to pay. Could be some money that comes back to you as well. You could get a refund. You could get some money. You could get a unexpected bill, possibly. You may think about how you can budget better. You may sell some things, possibly. For some of you, you may start or end a relationship with somebody like in business, maybe somebody that you were sharing finances with, or somebody that was connected to you in a financial way. You may decide to let them go, or somebody that you were intimate with, could be in a sexual way. You may decide to release that person. So think about that. But a lot of lessons and revisiting things regarding your money and how you're spending your money, and what you're doing with it, and how to make more of it. And are you feeling worthy of certain things? Are you, it might be time to save more. There's a lot of different ways this can go, Pisces, but there is going to be something unexpected possibly that comes up with your finances and your money that you may either have to pay for, or maybe you have to budget for now, or you have to think about, or some lesson that maybe you have not fully learned in regards to setting boundaries with financial matters or who you allow in your close space. So think about that in March. A lot of financial tests and financial scenarios that are likely to come up for you. Yes. Okay. So that was Aries, that was Pisces. Now let's move on to Taurus. Taurus. So Taurus risings, especially, but you can also watch for your sun. Yes, Toro. El Toros. So the retrogrades are happening. They're starting in your 12th house of Aries. 12th house, and then they retrograde back into your 11th house of friendships and social groups. And then the eclipse happens in your 5th house of creativity and romance. So for you, Taurus, similar to Aries, there is some focus on your mental health. There could be some revising of how much rest you're actually taking, and maybe you need to start incorporating better routines into your day-to-day life when it comes down to your mind. You may feel like you want to be alone a bit more in March, just really for the first part of it. Yeah, well, maybe till the end. I'm not gonna lie. So while it's in Aries, you're gonna feel like, okay, you want to take a break, and then I think some of you guys are gonna be really reassessing your friends, your friendships, your friend groups, and thinking about, like, some of you might feel like, okay, I've been alone a lot. I feel like I want to make more friends. Like, I feel like I want more people around me. Like, maybe at one point you were okay with being alone, but now you're like, okay, I'm ready to get back out there. I'm ready to meet people that like me and want the same things as me. So I think for you guys, a lot of March is going to be good for you to, like, hermit mode, figure out, like, the types of people you want to be around, who you want to connect with. And then as it gets into April, towards your birthday month getting closer, you're gonna be like, okay, I think I got a good understanding of the types of friends I want, or maybe the types of friends that I have right now. I'm not really gelling with them. What do I need to do? Or maybe I need to cut some people off, or maybe I need to try to reconnect. Like, a bunch of different things with your friends, but you're thinking really deeply about how you want to either connect with people, or even how you want to show up on social media or on your online spaces. You're thinking about that, but there's some way you're gonna reconnect with some people. Some of you might get like an unexpected, like, friend request from somebody from your past. This is a time definitely that there could be old friends coming back towards you. There could be a time where there's old flings coming back towards you as well, Taurus. Because the eclipse happens in your 5th house of creativity and romance, inner child, joy, fun. So there could be a moment of release where you're releasing these blockages that you've had that stopped you from having fun and enjoying your life, or enjoying your friends, enjoying people. Gemini's coming. Gemini's next. Just calm down. Just calm down. No, I'm kidding. So yeah, just going back and figuring out what is blocking you really from tapping in to either your friends or having fun, you know? So yeah, there can be something that you let go. It could be a romance you decide to let go of as well. It could be one that was blocking you from enjoying your friends more. I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot of different ways things can go when it comes down to how the eclipses play out. But there is something that can suddenly shift. You could suddenly meet a new romantic interest as well. But something that was blocking you from connecting to your inner child is moving out of the way, and you're going to be thinking about your friends a lot and the types of friends you want in your life. Okay. All right. So that was Taurus. Now moving on to Gemini. Gemini suns, but especially rising sign. Okay. So the retrogrades are going to be starting in your 11th house, also in friendships. You got some really, like, strong houses. It's hitting here. You got 11th house of friendships, then it's retrograding back into your 10th house of career in Pisces, and then the eclipse will happen in your 4th house. So It does start off with you reevaluating your social networks, your friend groups. It starts out with you reevaluating your wishes. You may be thinking about like the people you have around you, or either wanting to connect with more people around you, or thinking about past friends. Past friends may reach out to you, similar to Taurus. A Taurus may reach out to you, something like that. All right. But yeah, you're thinking about your network. There could even be some falling outs with friends. Just be mindful of that. Some conflicts, some heated moments with friends. Okay. And then it goes back into your career. So there's some reevaluating about your career. There could be a past coworker, boss, or situation that somebody reaches out to you. You may be thinking about going back to a previous place of work. Some of you may get some type of communication or check from a past employer or something in regards to that, or something that you need to square away with somewhere you used to work before. But yeah, something with your career, you're definitely thinking about, you're reevaluating, or you might be debating on changing up your career or switching something there. Now, when it comes down to the eclipse, it's happening in your fourth house. This is your fourth house of family and home life. So there can be an unexpected shift in regards to a living situation or a family dynamic. So you may hear something about your family. Could be something related to the mom, but there could be either a breakthrough with something family related. There could be something that comes up with family that you have to suddenly attend to. But this dynamic between work life and home life seems to be pulling you in different directions here. I feel like a lot of you are going to be kind of split on where to put your time. You're like, okay, I got my friends over here and I got my family, they got these problems, and I got my work and this is that. And it's like, I just feel like a lot of like being pulled in all different places for Geminis this month. And with the Pisces season, and it's in Pisces, there is some tension there where it's you're not sure exactly where to put your time. You're going to have to be really adaptable and also have some strong boundaries as much as possible, because you can't be everywhere at once. And some of you, your families are very demanding, so you have to try to, or your boss is very demanding. You got to figure out like, all right, how I'm going to balance all these things. But yeah, so the revision of your friendships and then your career, and then there's something that some of you may decide to part ways with a family. I don't know if some of you live with somebody, of family members, or you may decide to part ways with somebody that in your family that's causing you problems or conflict here. We were on Gemini. We're on Gemini, but now we're done with Gemini. We're moving to Cancer. We already did Aries, Pisces, Taurus. That was Gemini. Now we're on Cancer. We're going in order. Okay. So now Cancers. Sorry, I was reading something. So Cancer risings especially, but you can also apply this to Cancer Sun. The retrograde is going to start in your 10th house of career, similar to where it's ending for Geminis. But yeah, starting in your 10th house of career, then it's retrograding back into your 9th house, and then the eclipse happens in your 3rd house. You cannot rewind because we are on live. So you're going to have to wait. But yeah, Pisces was second. So yeah, sorry about that, y'all. But anyway, so Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde starts in your 10th house of your career. So you are also revising things in regards to your long-term career, what you want to do moving forward, maybe some changes you want to make aesthetically or financially with either people you work with. There could be some conflict that comes up for you because Aries is square to Cancer. So there could be some power struggles, power dynamics, arguments that you find in regards to the workplace or at work or with coworkers, with a boss potentially. So just be mindful of that. Some miscommunications there. Take your time when you're working. Take your time typing emails. I don't know, whatever you do for work. Just make sure you take your time. This is not really the best time to do a lot of new projects when it comes down to like starting a brand new job potentially. I mean, if it happens, it happens, but like try to wait to make like major changes till after the retrograde, and that's something that I probably should have said earlier. But yeah, so I also want to say for everybody before I continue on, and especially for Pisces, looking back at Pisces where the transits are happening, major purchases are definitely advised against, especially impulsive ones right now. So if it's like a huge thing you want to just drop a bag on, I would just wait. I wouldn't go crazy. Okay. But yeah, if you, some of you, there's a revising or revisiting a past career, either a past job you used to do or a past career path. There's something from your past you can pull from for your future career here. And then ninth house. So ninth house is where it's retrograding back into. So that's the house of long distance travel, house of beliefs, higher learning, religion. So there is some thoughts about either like traveling, taking a trip, long distance travel, thinking about moving even for some of you, feeling like you want to go somewhere or go somewhere far. And then you have an eclipse happening in your third house of communication. So there can definitely be some unexpected communication. There could even be something unexpected that you talk about with your siblings. There could be some unexpected knowledge or a message or an email that you receive. So look out for that during the middle of March, potentially middle of March. I mean, it can happen honestly any time of March, but especially during the eclipse. So there even might be an unexpected trip, or there's somebody that you decide to cut communication with. What if you applied an interview way before retrograde? You should be fine. I have seen people they started a job, maybe started in retrograde, but they applied like way before, or they got approved before. So, and they still work there and they're happy with it. So, you know, I just say as long as it's thought through as much as possible and it's not impulsive. But if it's something that you were thinking about before retrograde, that can be just fine. Okay. So yeah, all that. Let me make sure there was nothing else I forgot about for Cancer. Some of you, you may decide to cut ties with a sibling, or there's some type of discussion or argument there too if you have siblings. Look out for that. Okay. Okay, so that's Cancer. So that was Gemini, Cancer. Now we're on Leo. Leo and Pisces, y'all's transits are kind of similar for like the lessons that are coming up, especially if you have Leo and Pisces placements. You will find that this is like even more pivotal for you. So Leo, this is for Leo risings especially, but also suns. The retrograde is starting in your ninth house, and it's retrograding back into your eighth house. Then you have an eclipse in your second house of finances. So firstly, a lot of you guys, the main part of the month, it starts off you thinking about different things you might want to study, or maybe it's something that you believed in before, but now you're revising that. So this could be some type of practice you had, especially if it's like a spiritual one. You might be thinking about either changing beliefs or changing religions or diving into a spiritual practice. It could be a lot of different ways. Some of you might be thinking about going back to school, or thinking about studying something. Could be thinking about traveling abroad, thinking about moving abroad. There can be discussions there and revising there, or thinking just about how you want to expand. So that can be expanding your knowledge. It could be really good to start studying something new, or especially studying something that you wanted to in the past, but you never really did it. Like maybe picking that back up, or thinking about traveling to a place that you wanted to always go, but never did. All those are pretty cool things you can do right now. So eighth house of intimacy, shared resources, transformation is where it retrogrades back into. So you then later start to think about the people that you share your time with, like really intimately. This can be, especially in business, like people that you have shared resources with, money exchanges with. But you're revising like your intimate partnerships, or your business relationships with other people, like how you do business, how you connect with people on a deeper level. It could be your sexual relationships as well that you are reevaluating. And so you're thinking about that at the end. And then you have this eclipse that happens. Well, I forgot to mention that there's actually there's two eclipses. I keep forgetting there's just so much in March. My God, I keep forgetting that there's a Aries eclipse too. So yeah, you could go on an unexpected trip, or there's something that unexpectedly happens with you and your beliefs, or you deciding to shift gears in some way in that realm. But the first eclipse we have in Virgo, is happening in your second house. So with that happening in your second house, there can be a very unexpected shift for Leo with your money. Okay, so I would say just keep it in mind that financially there could be something that you suddenly have to pay for. I would just make sure I'm very careful with my money in this month, like something that you just, it comes to your attention. It can also be something good. It doesn't have to be bad, but it could be an unexpected, you get a lump sum of money somehow. You get paid for something, like, something shifts with that and your resources, or your values, your money. So there's also likely something that you could be releasing in regards to your money. It could be letting go of one stream of income. It could be letting go of, you could be paying off a credit card. It could be paying off a debt. There's a lot of ways it could go. But there also is some releasing of limiting beliefs in regards to money and your self-worth and how it's tied to your money. And so you're thinking about that, and you're cutting ties with something that's been blocking you from getting more money because of a certain belief that you have. Okay. So yeah, that's for you, Leo. A lot of lessons in finances there too for this month. I keep wanting to say next month. I can't believe it's March. Okay, now Virgos and Libras. We're gonna have a very interesting time in regards to our relationships. Both Virgo and Libra, it's hitting pretty hard there. But yeah, so Virgo, the retrograde, especially Virgo risings, it starts off for you in your eighth house. A lot of people having like these eighth house transits. It's going to be Leo and Aquarius, Virgo and Pisces. But yeah, Virgo, eighth house of, again, shared resources, intimacy, income, business partnerships, etc. So you're spending the majority of March either thinking about how you can, or thinking about intimacy blockages that you're having with people. Could be sexual blockages. It could be blockages that or reevaluating your relationship you have with other people in business. You're just thinking about how to either get more out of it, or maybe you're thinking about releasing or cutting somebody off in that way. But yeah, there's some intimacy issues that are coming to the surface for you for sure, and intimacy issues that are stopping you from connecting with other people on a deeper level. And that's what a lot of March will be thinking about, that and even working with other people. Some of you guys are not very trusting of other people, and so you're thinking about how you can connect better with working with people in all ways, not just like in a romantic relationship. Okay, but we are doing some evaluating of romantic too, because it retrogrades back into your seventh house of Pisces. So seventh house is all about our relationships. It's all about our partnerships, business, friends, but especially our serious committed relationships. So there is a lot of thinking about who you're with and who you want to be with, and is this person right for me? Is this an ideal partnership? Am I seeing them clearly? There's a lot of those questions. Some of you are thinking about if you want to commit to somebody, or maybe you want to not commit to somebody. Just all those thoughts coming out. And then finally, there's an eclipse in Virgo on your in your first house of self and identity. So there is a lot of going back and forth between me and them, and who am I, and do I like who I am with this person, or is this person a good match for me? Like a lot of mirroring the energy. And so there's something that you're realizing about yourself, or something that you want to release about yourself and let go about yourself by the middle of March. And you're thinking about like who you are, and do I like this person that I am? And how can I change things and let go of these limiting beliefs and these rigid ideas and this perfectionism? So letting go of something in regards to your identity. Yes, we are at Virgo rising. We're about to wrap up though. So yeah, a lot of thinking about your intimacy, your partnerships with other people, and then you. So it's you and your partnerships. That's the whole premise of March for you. It's like thinking about it sexually, thinking about it emotionally, and thinking about your role, your position in these dynamics for Virgos. Now, Libras. Libras is a bit similar for you. A little bit. Like it starts off that way. Libra, rising and moon. Yeah, it starts off that way with Aries. Aries eclipse in your seventh. You know all about that, because we had eclipses in Libra and Aries for the last almost 2 years. So there was a lot of action in your seventh house of partnerships. A lot of you probably went through many ups and downs in your relationships over the last 2 years. Significant changes in the dynamics. Thank you. I actually was rushing. I didn't even get to do it the way I wanted to because the time got away from me. I appreciate it though. But yeah, so you've gone through a lot in regards to the sudden changes, the shifts, the being with people, the being with people, starting relationships, ending relationships. Whoa, my glasses. Don't worry, you'll be able to go back and watch it later. But yeah, so there's an eclipse happening in your seventh house at the end of March, and then there's that seventh house, Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde. So there's some things that are coming back from the past or the last 1.5-2 years in regards to your relationship life that still are not quite finished yet. Or it's going to be like a finality of this like cycle that you've been in with your partners, or in your romantic life, or choosing people, or some type of lesson that you haven't quite learned yet, or maybe you're at the end of that lesson. The eclipses helps you grow a lot, but I had just started feeling grounded in my relationship. I'm confused as to why I need the retrograde in my life. Well, retrogrades help you to really make sure that you've covered all the bases, because a lot of times we think that we've learned everything we need to learn, but life, you never finish learning. If you're still alive, then you're still learning. So there's always still more to learn, and unfortunately, there's just different lessons at different times that we need to learn them. And you're still not done, because you then will have Neptune move into your seventh house, and then you will have Saturn move into your seventh house. So, all of us, we have a certain house right now, Aries house, that's just loaded with new energies and lessons. Okay. So, and the thing about lessons is you have to be brutally honest with yourself about certain things. And when you're not, then you just have to keep learning the lesson. So for Libras and Libra risings, it's been a lot about your relationships and either boundaries or asserting yourself, or the types of people you're choosing. It's a whole bunch of stuff. But there is some things that you are finishing up there. And so there's like one last making sure that, we got it together before we move to the next thing. All right, so after we talk about all the relationship mess in March, at the end of it, we go into health. So it retrogrades back into your sixth house, and then there's an eclipse in your 12th house. So there is a focus on releasing something that has been burdening you in your mind. There is a revising of your health routines and making sure that you are doing what you need to for your body. Venus going into your sixth house of health can also show there is some good news in regards to health, or maybe you're feeling better. If you were sick at the beginning, I know we just started March, but like I'm saying, like if you do get sick or there was something bothering you, you may figure out what it was, or you may figure out like it might just get better, or it may just like resolve itself potentially, possibly. Okay, so that's good news, but I do see you guys releasing something mentally that has been harming you, whether it's like a self-sabotaging thing you were doing, a belief, a mindset, a fear. There's something that's being like let go of there with your mental, which is really good. Some information that's revealed. Sorry, let me read this real quick. Still integrating the gnosis and much healing from the Reiki Zoom. Much gratitude. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed the Reiki. I just got my Reiki done by Mel the other day. It was awesome. They're referring to the guest speaker we had in the Virgo and Pisces group who did Reiki for everybody. Okay, so we on Scorpio. We got Scorpio, Sag, Cap, and Aquarii. All right. So we on Scorpio. If you Scorpio rising especially, having to go through another level lesson after defeating a previous difficult. Yes, that is a really good analogy. It's like you're having to it's like you have to go through the next level. Like you beat that one, now you're on the next one. Yep. And until you get to the end of the game, which is death in life, that's the end of the game. Like, but you don't get any more lives. Well, not in this lifetime, at least, maybe in the next life. So Scorpio, the retrograde starts in your sixth house of health, goes back into your fifth house of creativity, and then you have an eclipse in the 11th house of friendships. So for Scorpios, I would say Scorpios probably are going to have the most focus on their health during these retrogrades and the eclipse happening there. Yeah, so Scorpio, you got a lot of things to reevaluate with your health. There could be some previous health issues that might pop up. There could be some resolving of health stuff that comes up physically, but some of you are needing to take care of your body, your physical health a lot more. You're kind of burnt out. And so it's telling you to relax your body, or maybe think about how you can incorporate more love, more self-care into your health routines throughout March, because maybe a physical issue leads you to doing that. You may find like you need some rest, physical therapy, something like that. But yeah, something with your health, maybe go get checkups. If you have like been saying you need to get to the doctor, you need to get to the dentist, you need to do something. You want to maybe tweak a gym routine, or maybe go back to the gym. I'm a Scorpio rising. I recently signed up for the gym again. It's a good month to do that. Okay, and then it retrogrades back into your fifth house of creativity. So you're also thinking about ways to incorporate more fun into your life. There could be a little bit of you that is ready to be more expressive, ready to put yourself out there more, maybe ready to be more creative, focus on some hobbies. The end of March, you will be maybe picking up an old hobby, or maybe doing a hobby that you wanted to always do. So there's that. And then there's an eclipse in your 11th house of friendships. So there could be a sudden shift that you have in regards to your friends or people that you associate with. It could be groups on social media, and you might decide to release some group that you're in. This could be releasing a group on social media, or this could be releasing a friendship or a friend group. You may decide to part ways, or you may decide that there's something that you're releasing within yourself to be able to connect better with other people. So look out for that. Yeah, look out for that. There could be some old flings that come back towards you too. Some people that you dated in the past. Could be some unexpected friends that you come across, or you suddenly make friends. A couple different ways that could go. But yeah, your health, number one. Then your hobbies, then your friendships. Okay? Sagittarius. Sagittarius risings especially, but you can also apply this to your sun. Retrograde is starting in your 5th house, then it's going back into your 4th house, and then you're going to have an eclipse in your 10th house of career. So for you, similar to, you'll find like a lot of the signs, like as I'm going through, like the last sign has this similar, what is that squeaking sound? Oh, I think this is dying. Yeah, it's dying. I'm about to unplug it. Hold on a second, y'all. All right, let me think for a second, because I don't want it to be squeaking like that. Let me see. Yeah, these batteries are dying. Thank you for telling me, though. Let me see. Has it been squeaking the whole time? Or is it still squeaking now? Let me know before I continue, because I have to think about, I might have to switch to my headphones. Slight. Wow. Is it still making that noise, y'all? If so, let me know. I'm gonna switch to my ear. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. It wasn't squeaking the whole time. Hold on. Let me see something. All right. Hello. All right. Hello. Sorry. Can you guys hear me? Well, it shouldn't be squeaking anymore because I took out my what you call it? Is that better? Yeah, I took out the microphone, so I'm talking through my ear. I'm talking through my earphones now. Okay, it's no more squeaking. All right. Okay, so we're on Sagittarius. So we got Sag, then Cap, then Aquarius. Yeah, I gotta change these. Like, you know what? Every freaking retrograde, the batteries die. Like, it's just crazy. Like, every time. Like, that's how I know the retrograde's coming, because the batteries last, like, they last like 3-4 months, and like then they start squeaking again. Always around retrograde. Wait, don't confuse me, y'all. Did it stop or not? Because I'm trying to finish. All right, I'm gonna just keep going. Okay, so Sagittarius. So the retrograde starting in your 5th house of creativity, is retrograding back into your 4th house of family, and then there's an eclipse happening in your 10th house of career, and this is for Sag risings especially, but also Sag sun. You can apply it there too. Yeah, we already did Scorpio. We just finished Scorpio. You're gonna have to watch the replay. So most of retrograde Sag is gonna be about you thinking about how you want to have more fun. Okay, maybe a lot of you have been working really hard, or maybe you've been doing a lot of things that is like serious, and you're reevaluating how you can just enjoy life. You can enjoy things. You can have more fun. Some of you thinking about how you want to be more expressive, how you want to show up more, nurture your inner child, pick up some hobbies. Some of you might be thinking about doing something more creative. So it could be doing a hobby that you wanted to do in the past, thinking about an old skill that you can bring back. This can even be, there's some energy of either if you're single, I'll read it both ways. If you're single, this is a great time to, like, you know, have fun, lighthearted dating, doing things that are, you know, are fun with people, like, you know, flirting, having a good time. If you're already with somebody right now, this can be a really good time to figure out how you can have more fun with that person, how you can bring out more childlike joy with that person, like really pulling the fun, the friendship together. And this could be in your friendships too, not just in your romantic life, but fifth house is romantic. So thinking about how you can be more romantic, be more loving, be more carefree. And that's a lot of March and how that looks for you. And then it retrogrades at the end, back into your fourth house. So by the end of the month, there's some reevaluating about your home life. And you're thinking about, it's like kind of going from this really lighthearted reevaluation of things to a more serious one where there's some home matters that need to be taken care of, or there's something that on the home front comes up. This can be something with, you know, your living, where you live. This could be something with your family. This could be something with your mother. But there's something there that at the end of March is like asking for you to come back and give your attention to it and see something with relating to your home. Could be something that you need to fix in the home as well. Could be something about moving. And then we get into the eclipse in the middle of March, and that is in your 10th house of career. So there can be something, for some Sagittarius, there's something that you're letting go of when it comes down to career, or a sudden shift in career. So again, just all possible scenarios. There can be a change of career suddenly. There can be a promotion. There can be a demotion. There can be a sudden shift with a manager. You could suddenly get a new position. There's a lot of ways it can go. You may suddenly decide to launch a career, change a career. Something there happens. There can also be some type of belief that you have been carrying about your career or what you can do, or something with your reputation that suddenly shifts, or you release that limiting belief, or maybe that perfectionism in your career. Okay, so that is for Sag in March and what that looks like. Next, we got Capricorn. All right, Capricorn risings, especially, or sun. So the for Capricorns, there's an eclipse in your fourth house, and there's the retrogrades happening. They start in your fourth house of home life. So most of March, you're thinking about your house, your living situation, it could be your family, could be your mother. There's a lot of stuff happening in your home life, and it's gonna continue to happen for some time. But yeah, you're thinking about, some of you think about moving. Yeah, it could be thinking about moving. It could be thinking about like changing, you know, something with your house. It could be renovating. It could be building a family, a bunch of different things with your home. And and there can also be some arguments with your family or something about your living situation there, with it being an Aries. So just keep that in mind. And then it retrogrades back into your third house of communication. So third house of communication, thinking, the mind. This could be siblings. This could be information. So it's kind of like this double emphasis because there's Mercury retrograding back in there. And then third house is about communication. So there is a lot of potential for miscommunications, especially revolving around the home. Arguments or with family members or about living stuff. So just keep that in mind. Could be communication issues with siblings, miscommunications. And then you have the ninth house of the eclipse happening in your ninth house of travel and long distance travel, really, and beliefs. So there can be a sudden, there might be a sudden trip that you take, or maybe you suddenly decide to travel, or you suddenly decide to go on vacation. For others of you, there's like a belief that you were holding on to that suddenly maybe you let go of. This can be a religious one, a spiritual one, a mental one. This can be something that you were studying, or something you were having faith about, but then it's like something there is let go of. But yeah, for a lot of you, this can be a sudden long distance trip. I don't know why I get that for some of you guys, but yeah, the main things for March though, Capricorn, something with the family or the home life, and then there's some communication or miscommunications that come up, and it could be with family or about that. And then ninth house, some belief that you were holding on to, or a trip that you decide to take. Could be one that's very sudden or abrupt. So that's Capricorn. Now, last but not least, we have Aquarius. So Aquarius, the Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, and the eclipse start out in your third house of communication. Then it retrogrades back into your second house of finances. Then you have finally the eclipse in your eighth house, also finances. So the main people that's having some financial, real crazy, like, well, it may not be crazy, I'm not gonna say crazy, but some really intense like financial stuff going on is Aquarius, Pisces, and Leo. Really, Aquarius, Pisces, and Leo for March. So retrograde starts in your third house of communication. So I feel like, honestly, for Aquarius, you're gonna be fighting with people all month. Aquarius, you're gonna be the one that's arguing all month long. A lot of miscommunications, potentially. A lot of, and not only that, but a lot of you are thinking about how you communicate, right? You're thinking about how you think. You're thinking about like ways that you might be able to communicate different or communicate better. Some of you are also thinking about different things you can study. Some of you might even be thinking about learning another language or another way to communicate. I don't know why, like, for some of you guys, I'm feeling like there's a way you want to learn how to communicate with somebody. Some of you, it might be sign language, it could be another language, but there's something about your communication that is really reaching a pivotal moment where it shifts, or you decide to stop communicating a certain way or with somebody. But that's like majority of March. You're thinking about the ways you communicate, the way you learn, and you're trying to make adjustments there. And then it retrogrades back into your second house of finances. So at the end of March, there can be some revising of your finances, thinking about how you want to save, or maybe there's something that you have to pay for, or there's something there that you're just revisiting with your financial stability. You may even think about selling something at the end of the month. And then you have this eclipse that happens in your eighth house of shared resources and intimacy. So there can be a sudden shift with somebody that you are very close with. There could be a deepening of the relationship. I will say sometimes, like, not to scare you, but eighth house eclipses, eighth house can be about endings. It can be about change. It can even be about death. So there is definitely an ending that you will experience this month. And it's not to say that it's like necessarily a death, but there's definitely going to be some type of ending. If there was an ending for anybody, it would be more so for you guys. It could be an ending to something financially, a way that you're connected with somebody in an intimate way, ending of a relationship. There's some ending there that's happening. But for many of you, it is going to be potentially something financial related, or releasing a mindset you have about intimacy, a mindset you have or limiting beliefs you have about connecting with people in a deeper, intimate way. So that's what March looks like for you, Aquarii. So that's everybody. That's everybody for March 2025. To watch this video, play it back, you're gonna have to wait until it's up like it has to do something before it pops up. But it'll be on Patreon already if you're a patron. Like I said, I got the Aries tier now open. I got my Virgo and Pisces group open, so you can watch all the videos I've done since January. I've broke down this transit even more than I have here from January. We talked about the nodes in each house. Then we talked about Mercury retrograde, what to do, what not to do. Then we talked about Venus retrograde, what to do and not to do. So if you still are like kind of confused or you want to know more, all those videos are on my Virgo and Pisces Patreon if you have Virgo and Pisces placements. And then now we have the Aries one because there's a lot of Aries stuff going on, even more than just this. Like I'm gonna do a whole video on Neptune and Aries and Saturn and Aries alone. So all that stuff is in the description box. Is discounted if you join today for Patreon. But yeah, you guys can go back and rewatch this. It will be up on YouTube. But all the like extra videos I've done, all on my Patreon. I think that's everything. But yeah, check that out. Abundance oils back in stock. Love oils will be in stock next week. But I think that's what we got for today, y'all. Do you have any questions before I hop off of here? And I know some of you guys you're gonna go back and rewatch it. But of course, leave comments or you DM me on Patreon, etc. I will answer some of you guys' questions there too. I'm uploading on TikTok. I'm talking about the different things, Instagram. You know, you just gotta know where to look. Okay, nobody said anything. Yeah, it was something else I was gonna say, but I forgot. I do want to do some tarot readings, though. I just been so busy with this other stuff that I'm doing. But you're welcome, guys. Yeah, if you guys think of any other questions, again, feel free to hit me up on any of the platforms. Check out the Patreon if you're able to, and all the videos I put up there, the Discord, etc. But yeah, thank y'all for watching today for this much awaited video. And I'll be back on here soon. Real soon. Oops. Okay, I wanted to make sure I didn't cut anybody off. All right, y'all. I will see you when you see me.